Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, 2016 NFL MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons go head-to-head against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're real.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
I know we were assigned this game, but let's face it. This is the one we wanted, isn't it? We had a chance to watch an MVP candidate performed down the stretches 4 weeks ago. How are you feeling about his chances?
Well, I think he certainly has a shot. It's going to determine what he does and what the others around him do for these last 4 weeks. But more MVP chatter, it seems like, every year as you hit the month of December. This year's going to be no exception.
Yeah, I know he's not ranked number 1 right now, but if he plays up to his capabilities, I think he's going to win the thing.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Here now, the offensive starters for Atlanta.
And one of my favorite players in the league is Devontae Freeman. 29 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 years. Knows how to put the ball in the end zone, can catch it out of the backfield, and plays with a passion that few players in the league can match.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And I like his honesty, because when we sat down with him, I mean, he was the first one to say, that was on me last week, a really poor performance. Way too many interceptions, didn't find the end zone throwing the ball, put his defense and his special teams in some real jeopardy, but somehow they won the game.
They won.
Yeah, what I loved about it is when he told us about the defense kind of corralling him in the locker room and said, all right, my man, we're not going to do that again this week, are we?
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
319! 319!
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. Defensive starters, here they are for Atlanta. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league. 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run That's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stops him.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Kazin, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They go play action here on first down, and that'll be incomplete. Take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan on the screen. This is Coleman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now Ryan. He's got Sanu. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Meanwhile, down in Chicago, it's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 19 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. And Duke Riley will get credit for the tackle. The Packers and Falcons, they've had some memorable encounters in recent years. They met at the Georgia Dome in the 2016 NFC Championship game won by Atlanta, as well as the first regular season game at the new Mercedes-Benz Dome. That game also won by the Falcons 34-23, so revenge on the minds of the green and gold here. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Rodgers now on first down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On second down, Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. And on the stop, Damontae Kazee. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
319.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Crosby with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was all capped on the touchdown run by Ty Montgomery. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Ryan on second down. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Mohamed Sanu, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 40 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there, partner. I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 14-7 is the score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball is thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
Finds his target, Montgomery. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now Rodgers. Step, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Getting set to go again, Mohamed Sanu is marching back onto the field now. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Ty Montgomery and the offense getting set for their next drive. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now it's Rodgers. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Cobb. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's on his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Rodgers now to throw. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And Crosby puts it through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Getting set to go again, Mohamed Sanu is marching back onto the field now. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is, and there are plenty of reasons why. Runs great routes, has an understanding of what defenses want to do against him, and really has a great determination to go up and get the football. He decides it's his and no one else's.
And he's decided that a lot so far in this game. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Ryan. And his throw is incomplete. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. And it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. This is brought in by Hardy. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
And a sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Again, Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Ryan now off the bootleg. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Off the bootleg, Ryan. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Here's Ryan to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Falcons are in for 6. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And oh, it's blocked. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Throwing the out route and complete. It's Cobb. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ryan pulled that time there to get a hand on it.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Albert away and bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Rodgers. Going to throw again. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Allison, complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Rodgers now on first down. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's got his target. It's Cobb. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's Rodgers. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb, as the first half is winding down. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Falcons on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Meanwhile, down in Chicago, at scoring again, the Rams have widened that lead a bit further. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. And now the Packers get set to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On second down, here's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Here's J.K. Scott now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. He has been solid. His team, on the other hand, trailing right now on the scoreboard, but as we get a look at the highlights, he's been good.
He's been very good and continues to be so. And you see great evidence of that as we watch the highlight reel. He's trying to figure out what more it's going to take to rally his team to try and get them back in a position to win it.
We'll find out if he can do just that as we continue. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking left side and has got a man. That's Hardy. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory. And that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. Now the ball comes loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. On 3rd down, it's Coleman, and he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27th. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Now Ryan on 1st down. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stock troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here. So a little razzle-dazzle on that one. But they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Elsewhere, 2nd half is underway up at Orchard Park. And the Bills have now opened up a 2-touchdown lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, it's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a play fake here on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. And it's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
On second down, it's Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he gets it down to the 32.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. A dump underneath to Jones. A good pickup there at 22. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run it with Williams. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
Rodgers going to throw. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation.
That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is up to 15 now. Crosby on now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Call it a gain of 3, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. He's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rodgers now on 1st down. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Ryan. This will be caught inside the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
They'll run here with Freeman. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Ryan now off the bootleg. And he's got it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. This is Coleman. No play that time. So a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Packers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Here's J.K. Scott now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there. And the Texans have scored. That one's been interesting as they retake the lead. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Gets it off to Freeman. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be a 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's hauled in by Hardy. The reception good for 7. It's third down. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Off the bootleg, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here we go. It's Ryan on fourth down. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for a strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? The advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, were they about 95% chance of winning it?
I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Williams. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
319, 258, 399.
On third down, here's Williams. They find some open field here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Ryan. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby connects on the extra point. They're all finished in the bout down in Houston. And the Texans have scored. That one's been interesting as they retake the lead. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.